Nestled deep within the northern reaches, the park is a sprawling expanse of dense woodland, shrouded in perpetual mist. Its isolation is palpable. The nearest town sits miles away, and the silence here is broken only by the distant calls of unseen creatures. Locals speak in hushed tones about the park, sharing stories of odd lights flickering between the trees and chilling echoes that seem to follow lone hikers. Yet, despite these whispered warnings, official records mention nothing unusual. No missing persons, no unexplained phenomena. The air hangs heavy with tension, as if the forest itself is holding its breath. Visitors often describe an unsettling feeling, as though they are being watched from the shadows. What secrets lie hidden beneath the fog, waiting to be uncovered? Ranger Samuel Hayes was the kind of man people trusted with their lives. Decades spent patrolling the dense pine forests had earned him a reputation for calm under pressure and an uncanny ability to navigate even the most treacherous terrain. Colleagues recall his steady presence during storms and search parties, a figure who seemed immune to fear. Hayes was not prone to superstition or wild tales. His word carried weight in a community where rumor often outpaced reality. So, when he abruptly resigned, leaving behind only a terse note and his weathered badge, the shock rippled through the department. What could have shaken such a steadfast soul? In the silence that followed, unsettling questions began to take root among those who thought they knew him best. It began with faint whispers, barely audible beneath the sigh of the wind. The ranger, accustomed to the solitude of the forest, first dismissed them as tricks of his imagination. But as the nights wore on, the sounds grew bolder, footsteps crunching on frostbitten leaves, and, on some nights, distant screams that seemed to bleed through the darkness. In his personal log, the entries shifted from routine patrol notes to frantic, scrawled accounts of these disturbances. Each page revealed his mounting anxiety, his words trembling with fear. What was once a peaceful wilderness had become a stage for something unseen, something that watched and waited. The question lingered. Was he truly alone out there, or had something else claimed the woods after dark? In a rare interview, a fellow ranger recounts the unsettling transformation of his colleague. He remembers how the man, once confident and jovial, became withdrawn and anxious, his eyes darting nervously at the slightest sound. The ranger describes a growing paranoia, a fear that seemed to grip his friend, especially as dusk settled over the forest. He began refusing to patrol certain trails after sunset, insisting that something was watching them from the tree line. The change was so stark, so sudden, that others started to whisper about what he might have seen. But when pressed for details, the troubled ranger would only shake his head, his silence more chilling than any story. What had he encountered in those shadowed woods that left him so haunted? In the dim glow of a flickering monitor, investigators replay the grainy footage again and again. Shadows twist and flicker between the skeletal trees, moving with unnatural speed and purpose. Occasionally, a figure emerges, indistinct, almost human, only to dissolve into the darkness when anyone draws near. Local authorities, baffled, note that no wildlife could account for such behavior. Eyewitnesses speak of a chilling silence that descends over the woods at night, broken only by the distant crack of branches. Each frame of the video seems to deepen the mystery, leaving behind a single, unsettling question. What is truly lurking in those woods? In the biting chill of early November, the case of the missing hiker was abruptly reopened. A single piece of evidence, unearthed from the dense underbrush, cast new shadows over the investigation. Park Ranger Samuel Hayes, the last known person to see the hiker alive, found himself once again at the center of scrutiny. His statements, once accepted without question, now appeared fractured, details shifting, timelines blurring, and crucial moments left unexplained. Investigators pored over his interviews, noting the nervous flicker in his eyes and the subtle tremor in his voice. What, if anything, was Ranger Hayes hiding? As the forest grew colder and the nights stretched longer, the truth seemed to retreat further into the darkness, waiting to be found. On a cold October night, a lone camper sat by the dying embers of their fire, deep within the shadowed woods. They recall seeing flickering lights weaving between the trees, unnatural, silent, and impossibly bright. As the hours dragged on, the forest seemed to close in, every snapping twig and distant howl amplified by a growing sense of dread. The camper describes a chilling sensation, as if unseen eyes were studying their every move. Their voice trembles as they recount the relentless feeling of being watched, a presence that pressed in from the darkness. Strangely, their account mirrors the ranger's own encounters in these woods, down to the smallest, most unsettling detail. What force could be haunting these woods, leaving behind only fear and unanswered questions? The abandoned ranger station stands silent, its windows clouded with dust and neglect. Inside, investigators move cautiously, their flashlights illuminating scenes of sudden chaos. A table set for dinner, plates left half-eaten, chairs overturned as if someone fled in haste. Papers litter the floor, some torn, others marked with frantic notes and strange symbols. In the corner, a broken radio emits a low, persistent static, the sound echoing through the empty halls. The air is heavy, thick with the sense that something terrible happened here, and yet no footprints lead away from the station. As the team documents the evidence, a chilling realization settles in. Whatever forced the Rangers to abandon their post left no trace, except for the lingering feeling that they are not alone. What could have driven them to such panic, and where did they go? The Ranger's family remembers the subtle changes first, a distant look in his eyes, a reluctance to sleep, and the way he would flinch at the smallest sounds. His wife describes nights spent pacing the hallway, whispering fragments of dreams too disturbing to repeat. Their daughter recalls how he began to avoid sunlight, preferring instead to wander the park's shadowed trails long after dusk. Each morning, he seemed more hollow. Haunted by visions he refused to share, the family's concern turned to dread as his obsession with the park's most desolate places grew. They watched, powerless, as fear took hold of him, transforming a devoted guardian into a man hunted by something unseen. To this day, they wonder what he truly encountered in those dark woods and whether it ever really let him go. As investigators pored over the Ranger's journals, a disturbing pattern emerged. Early entries were methodical, detailing routine patrols and wildlife sightings. But as weeks passed, the handwriting grew frantic, the language fragmented. The Ranger described glimpses of shadowy figures lurking beyond the tree line, their movements barely perceptible in the fog. He wrote of voices, low and persistent, whispering his name from somewhere deep within the mist. Some nights, he claimed, the voices grew louder, almost pleading. The final entries were nearly illegible, filled with frantic warnings and desperate pleas for help. What happened in those woods remains a chilling mystery, and the journals offer only a glimpse into the terror that consumed him. In the heart of this quiet town, the park has always been more than just a patch of green. Locals whisper of a curse, a shadow said to have lingered here since the earliest colonial days. Old-timers recall chilling tales, children vanishing without a trace, their laughter echoing long after dusk. Others speak of ghostly figures drifting between the trees, faces blurred, eyes hollow with sorrow. Police archives mention unexplained disappearances, each case colder than the last. Even now, some residents refuse to set foot near the park after dark, haunted by the stories passed down through generations. What is it about this land that refuses to let go of its secrets? In a dimly lit conference room, 3 experts gather around a table, their faces tense as they review the Ranger's psychological evaluation. Dr. Elaine Mercer, a seasoned psychiatrist, notes the signs of acute trauma, nightmares, paranoia, and a persistent sense of being watched. Yet, forensic psychologist Dr. Harris points to inconsistencies. The ranger's vivid recollections, the physical evidence found at the scene, and the chilling detail in his testimony. Was he suffering from a stress-induced psychosis, or had he truly witnessed something beyond comprehension? The debate grows heated as each expert struggles to reconcile the facts with the ranger's haunted demeanor. Outside, the wind rattles the windows, as if echoing the uncertainty within. And as the session ends, one question remains. If it was all in his mind, why do others in the town report the same chilling encounters? In the shadowed heart of the forest, a disturbing pattern began to surface. Over the span of just a few months, local authorities documented a sharp increase in missing persons, all vanishing near the same remote woodland trail. The community grew uneasy when the town's veteran ranger, a man known for his stoic calm, abruptly resigned without explanation. His departure, eerily timed with the surge in disappearances, left residents whispering about what he might have seen or heard among the trees. Police reports detail frantic calls, abandoned campsites, and belongings left as if their owners had simply stepped away. Yet, no trace of the missing has ever been found. What drove the ranger to leave his post, and what secret does the forest conceal? The answers remain hidden, swallowed by the silence beneath the pines. Officer Daniel Hayes recalls the first time he noticed something was wrong. During a late-night patrol along the outskirts of town, his headlights caught the twisted remains of a deer, its body arranged in a way that defied explanation. Nearby, trees bore deep, unnatural gashes, as if clawed by something far larger than any known animal. Hayes describes a suffocating silence that seemed to press in from the woods, broken only by the faint, echoing sound of laughter carried on the wind. He admits that even the most seasoned officers began refusing to walk the perimeter alone. In his words, "It felt like the forest was watching us." To this day, no one has been able to explain the source of those mutilations, or the reason for the overwhelming sense of dread that lingers long after the sun rises. Late one evening, investigators gathered in a dimly lit room to analyze the audio recordings retrieved from the park. The tapes, played back at various speeds, revealed a tapestry of warped voices and guttural noises that seemed to echo from nowhere. Forensic audio specialists, seasoned in their field, admitted their confusion. None could identify the origins of the sounds. The voices, at times pleading, at times mocking, overlapped with static and a persistent, low hum that set nerves on edge. One expert described the recordings as impossibly layered, with frequencies outside the range of normal human speech. Despite advanced equipment and years of experience, the team could offer no rational explanation. As the last tape ended, a chilling silence filled the room, broken only by the question that lingered in every mind. Who, or what, was trying to communicate? On the night of October 17th, Ranger Samuel Hayes set out on what would become his final patrol through the dense, frost-laced woods of Black Hollow Park. His radio logs indicate a routine sweep, but at 2:13 a.m., he transmitted a brief, trembling message. "Something's out here. Not right." The details of what he saw remain locked away. Hayes refused to elaborate, even when pressed by investigators. Witnesses recall seeing him emerge from the tree line before dawn, pale and silent, his uniform torn and his eyes haunted. He handed in his badge without a word and vanished from the town, leaving behind only rumors and a chilling sense of unfinished business. To this day, no one knows exactly what forced Samuel Hayes to abandon his post, but the forest has grown quieter, as if holding its breath, waiting for someone else to listen. What did he encounter that night, and why did it drive him away forever? In the dim light of early dawn, a search and rescue volunteer recalls the night their team ventured into the dense woods outside Hollow Creek. The air was thick with anticipation, every branch snapping underfoot, echoing louder than it should. As they pressed deeper, a sudden, unexplainable dread swept over the group, so intense that seasoned rescuers froze in their tracks, unable to speak or move. Radios crackled with static, and a strange metallic taste filled the air. One by one, team members reported feeling watched, their thoughts muddled by a confusion that bordered on panic. The mission was abandoned, not out of choice but necessity. To this day, none of them can explain what happened in those woods or why the missing person was never found. Despite mounting public concern, the Park Service has maintained a careful silence. Their official statements are brief, offering little more than generic reassurances about visitor safety. When pressed for details regarding the sudden resignation of veteran ranger Mark Ellison, officials declined to comment, citing ongoing internal matters. No explanation has been provided for his abrupt departure, fueling speculation among locals and investigators alike. The lack of transparency has only deepened the sense of unease that now lingers over the park. What exactly are they trying to hide? And why does the truth seem so carefully guarded? As whispers of the unexplained began to circulate, a palpable unease settled over the town. Residents, once accustomed to evening strolls through the park, now avoided its shadowed paths after sunset. Doors were locked earlier, curtains drawn tight against the encroaching darkness. The streets, already quiet, grew emptier still, echoing with the distant sound of a lone dog barking or the hurried footsteps of someone eager to reach home. In hushed conversations, neighbors speculated about what might be lurking just beyond the streetlights. Fear, once a stranger here, had found a new home. Yet, beneath the surface, an unspoken question lingered. What had truly changed in their peaceful town? Forensic specialists arrived at the park just before dawn, their breath visible in the cold morning air. They meticulously combed the scene, documenting a series of strange markings etched into the soil, patterns that defied easy explanation. Among the scattered debris, they collected biological samples, hair, skin fragments, and a viscous residue clinging to the bark of a gnarled oak. Initial lab reports ruled out any known animal or human origin. The team noted an unsettling consistency in the markings, as if made by something with intent, yet utterly alien. As the evidence mounted, investigators began to question whether they were dealing with a crime, or something far more inexplicable. What or who had left these traces behind in the silent heart of the park? In the dim light of a cluttered study, we meet with Thomas Avery, a seasoned paranormal investigator whose work has brought him to the heart of the park's mysteries. Avery speaks in measured tones, recounting chilling stories collected from decades of research, tales of shadowy figures glimpsed between the trees, and inexplicable cold spots that linger even in midsummer. He believes the park's troubled history, marked by unsolved disappearances and whispered tragedies, may have left a psychic imprint, a residue that draws something unnatural to its grounds. Avery describes equipment failures and distorted audio recordings, hinting at a force that resists documentation. He theorizes that these entities are not merely echoes of the past, but intelligent presences, watching and waiting. As the interview ends, Avery's eyes linger on the darkness outside, and he warns that the park's secrets are far from fully revealed. What or who continues to haunt these silent woods remains a question that no investigator has yet answered. The letter, penned in trembling handwriting, was discovered on the ranger's desk at dawn. As investigators read it aloud, a chilling sense of dread filled the room. The ranger described sleepless nights, haunted by whispers in the trees, and shadows that moved with unnatural intent. He spoke of a growing terror, something lurking just beyond the reach of his flashlight, watching, waiting. In his final words, he pleaded with anyone who found the letter to avoid the northern trails at all costs. The resignation was not just a departure, It was a desperate warning. What did the ranger see in those woods that left him so utterly broken? Meteorological records from the region reveal a chilling pattern. Experts observed a sequence of abrupt, violent storms, each one arriving without warning and defying conventional forecasts. These tempests, marked by erratic lightning and unnatural silences between thunderclaps, coincided precisely with the ranger's most harrowing encounters in the forest. Local climatologists, interviewed for the investigation, admitted their confusion. No atmospheric conditions could account for the rapid onset or the intensity of these storms. Residents recall the air turning heavy, almost suffocating, moments before the first drops fell. Was it mere coincidence, or did something in those woods summon the weather itself? The answer remains elusive, hidden behind the veil of rain and shadow. In a dimly lit study lined with faded books, local historian Dr. Evelyn Marsh recalls the park's troubled history. She speaks of the chilling unsolved murders that have haunted the town for decades, cases where victims vanished without a trace, leaving only blood-stained earth and unanswered questions. According to Dr. Marsh, whispers of vengeful spirits have long circulated among residents, fueling a legacy of fear. Archive records reveal police reports describing inexplicable cold spots and sightings of shadowy figures drifting between the trees. Eyewitnesses, their voices trembling, recount hearing distant screams echoing through the fog. The historian's words linger, painting a portrait of a place where the past refuses to stay buried. But as she closes the old case files, one question remains. Are these legends merely stories, or is something truly watching from the darkness? Months after his initial ordeal, the ranger made a determined effort to return to the park. He drove through the winding roads at dawn, the landscape shrouded in a heavy, unnatural mist. As he approached the park's entrance, an overwhelming sense of dread seized him. His hands trembled, his breath quickened, and a cold sweat broke out across his skin. Despite his training and years of experience, he found himself unable to cross the boundary, paralyzed by a terror he could not explain. Witnesses later described seeing him sitting in his truck for hours, staring into the darkness beyond the gate. The park itself seemed to repel him, as if something unseen was guarding its secrets. To this day, the ranger refuses to speak of what he felt at that threshold, leaving investigators to wonder, what force lurks within those woods, and why does it not let go? Despite exhaustive efforts, investigators find themselves entangled in a web of contradictions and inexplicable phenomena. Each new piece of evidence only deepens the mystery, challenging the boundaries of logic and reason. Residents whisper about the case in hushed tones, their unease growing with every unanswered question. Police reports hint at patterns that defy conventional explanation, while eyewitnesses recount chilling encounters that seem to defy reality. The official files remain open, a stark reminder that some truths may never come to light. As night falls over the quiet town, a lingering sense of dread persists, and the shadows seem to watch, waiting for the next chapter to unfold. In the final interview, Ranger Ellis sits in the dim light, his hands trembling ever so slightly. He avoids direct eye contact, his voice barely above a whisper, as he confesses that certain memories still haunt his dreams. When pressed for details about what he witnessed that night, he only shakes his head, insisting some things are better left unspoken. Ellis warns with chilling sincerity that the park is not what it appears to be. There are places, he says, where the trees seem to watch, and the silence grows too heavy to bear. As the interview ends, his final words linger in the air. If you value your peace of mind, don't go looking for answers out there. What exactly did Ranger Ellis see in those woods? The truth remains locked behind his fearful eyes. As the investigation drew to a close, the park remained shrouded in silence, its secrets untouched by the light of day. For the families and officers involved, the psychological scars lingered long after the search teams had packed up and left. Interviews reveal sleepless nights, haunted dreams, and a persistent sense that they were watched by something unseen. Despite exhaustive efforts, no definitive answers were found, only fragments of evidence and whispered rumors. The chilling possibility endures that within the dense woods, something waits, undiscovered and undisturbed. The case remains open, a shadow cast over the town, leaving everyone to wonder what truly lies beneath the surface. And as dusk falls over the empty playground, the mystery deepens, refusing to let go. Just as the investigation seemed to reach a chilling standstill, news broke of another disappearance. This time, a local teenager vanished without a trace, their last known location eerily close to the old ranger's cabin. Authorities found only a set of footprints leading into the woods, abruptly ending at the edge of a shallow creek. The ranger's warnings, once dismissed as paranoia, now echo with unsettling clarity. Residents whisper that something ancient stirs beneath the surface of their quiet town. As night falls, unanswered questions linger in the cold air, and the sense of dread grows heavier. What force continues to haunt these woods, and who will be next to vanish into the darkness?